Israel's offensive in Gaza continues to ramp up. Parts of the Strip that had been previously spared an Israeli ground operation, including the city of Deir-al-Balah, have now been attacked by land and air. The situation on the ground is desperate, with mass starvation spreading. And while Israel's onslaught escalates, the militant group Hamas clings on. Both sides are still releasing a steady stream of clips showing their forces in action. On-demand news has been following the battles on the ground since the very start of the Israel-Hamas war, with intense combat footage taking you to the very front lines of the fighting. Here you can watch our full series, going right back to the opening days of Israel's invasion.
بسم الله الله أكبر بسم الله الله
יש לנו פה קלאץ' רוסי, עוד קלאץ' רוסי וקלאץ' סיני.
אנחנו זיהינו פה פיר מנהרה שחודר פנימה. הפיר הזה מגיע מכיוון המסגד.
The city of Khan Younis has seen some of the most intense fighting since the war in Gaza began. Now resembling a vast urban wasteland, Israel has claimed victory over Hamas here. But how much control do they really have? And how did the battle for Khan Younis unfold? Israeli ground forces entered the city after a huge aerial bombardment in early December, and have spent 2 months attempting to root out the Hamas leadership and search for any signs of the hostages still being held by the militant group. But so far, Hamas's top commanders, including its leader in Gaza, Yahya Sinwar, have evaded capture. It's thought they're still likely to be in Khan Younis, using a tunnel and bunker network which is much more extensive than Israeli planners first thought. Those tunnels are being discovered and destroyed, but it's slow going. Israeli soldiers have used everything from remote cameras to smoke grenades to assess the extent of this underground labyrinth. Occasionally, the IDF come across a tunnel that seems purpose-built for holding captives, but none of the 130 or so remaining hostages have been successfully recovered. Videos posted by Hamas show its fighters are still able to effectively ambush their enemy, remaining concealed and using the tunnels to escape. Israeli troops who have returned from the front line have confirmed that direct encounters with militants are rare, with Hamas forces preferring to use hit-and-run guerrilla tactics. Speaking to Reuters, an Israeli officer claimed that Hamas's Khan Younis brigade was the group's most powerful military unit, with a pre-war strength of 5 battalions. Nevertheless, the balance of casualties in the battle is indicative of Israel's vastly superior firepower. Israel's defense minister has claimed that 10,000 Hamas militants have been killed and around the same number wounded. According to the IDF, 224 Israeli troops have been killed in Gaza since the ground operation began in late October. Although most civilians evacuated Khan Younis when the siege began, those that remain face a daily battle for survival. A cameraman working for ITV News filmed the moments just before and after a Palestinian man was fatally shot by Israeli gunfire in the city. And the residents who have fled their homes have little to return to when the battle for Khan Younis finally ends. As many as half of the buildings within the city have now been destroyed or damaged, according to recent analysis. On the 1st of February, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant announced that Hamas forces in Khan Younis had officially been defeated. But with Hamas leaders still on the run, hostages still out of reach, and an admission from Israeli sources that full operational control has not yet been achieved, how realistic is that claim? Until a negotiated settlement is reached in this conflict, this suffering in Khan Younis is likely to continue. And now Rafa, a city in the far south of Gaza, which is hosting the vast majority of Gaza's 2.3 million displaced people, could be next in line for a ground assault.
شوية. تلفون. אנחנו פורצים, לא ללחוץ. 15 שניות.
RPG. תוציא הכל.
This is the entrance to the hospital. This is the Qatari building. يا رب سدد يا رب. الله أكبر.
ארבע איתך. ארבע איתך. שומע?
فلقيت الاليات اللي حكيتي منها انا بدنا كمين انه هو ايش؟ هو مسيره في هذه المنطقه.
السواح.
بسم الله يا رب دبب يا رب ثبت بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله يا رب ثبت يا رب الله أكبر يا رب. للشيخ صالح رحمة الله عليه. جاهز؟ الله أكبر الله أكبر. يلا روح. الله أكبر الله أكبر.
يلا زوق ايده على المخاد ساموس يا بنستان
The war in Gaza has now lasted almost a year. And while Israel's attention has recently moved to its northern border with Lebanon, it's clear that Hamas is still resisting Israeli forces inside the Gaza Strip. Throughout the war, both sides have filmed and posted footage of their soldiers on the front line. Such video releases are now less common from the IDF, which says its ground operations inside the Strip are largely concluded. But Hamas has maintained a steady stream of uploads to social media, perhaps in an attempt to show that it is still militarily capable. While the timing and precise location of these clips is often hard to verify, they are useful in showing how Hamas continues to wage its guerrilla campaign against the Israelis. In this clip, we reportedly see Hamas operatives planning and executing an ambush of IDF vehicles in the southern city of Rafa. Most hostile encounters captured on camera are much smaller in scale, targeting individual groups of soldiers or isolated vehicles. Hamas also appears to be relying heavily on skilled snipers to target enemy soldiers from a distance. Despite Israel destroying dozens of Hamas tunnels since the start of the war, it's clear that some are still being used to launch ambushes. This video was reportedly filmed in Khan Younis. While Hamas's stores of military hardware are certainly depleted, they also occasionally show videos of their fighters using rocket launchers and mortars. Occasionally, they also acquire captured or abandoned IDF equipment, as shown in this clip. While the world's attention is focused on Lebanon and the risks of a wider conflict igniting in the Middle East, Hamas continues to try and convince the world that it has not been totally destroyed as a military force.
بجنود لا قبل لهم بها ولنخرجنهم منها أذلة وهم صاغرون.
اسلح
يا رب سيدي الله سدد يا رب سدد.
This is on the occasion of Donald Trump's presidency. God bless America, God bless Israel. Woo!
This is the moment an Israeli soldier randomly fired into Gaza to celebrate Donald Trump's victory in the US election. The Israeli army has responded to this video, saying that the soldier's actions were severe and that the soldier will be disciplined, but it hasn't said how. The video reflects a widespread support for Trump in Israel.
זה ניצחון לכל עם אמריקאי, לכל עם ישראל, וזה ניצחון שהוא מוחק כל מילה אנטישמית בעולם. שיהיה לו בהצלחה כל טוב. אנחנו אוהבים אותו, כל הכבוד לו. נשיקות.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was also quick to show his enthusiasm at the election result, posting on X, "Congratulations on history's greatest comeback," and "This is a huge victory." Trump even has an Israeli settlement named after him in the Golan called Trump Heights. That's because during his first term as president, he became the first and only world leader to officially recognize Israel's control of the Golan, which is a territory seized from Syria in the 1967 Mideast War. But what does a Trump victory really mean for the war in Gaza? Well, for one, Trump has made his support for Israel very clear.
We will deport the foreign jihad sympathizers, and we will deport them very quickly, and Hamas supporters will be gone. We will remove the jihadist sympathizers and Jew haters. We're going to remove the Jew haters.
He also says he wants to end the war and fast.
Like liberal Kamala, I will support Israel's right to win its war on terror. You have to support that. Gotta win, gotta finish it off.
How he plans on doing that, however, remains a mystery.
Kamala, you're fired. Get out, get out.
Trump has not been clear on his policies over the Israel-Hamas war, but what he doesn't want is to be dragged in a conflict abroad. Experts say it's likely that Trump will give Netanyahu free rein to do what he wants with the West Bank and Gaza to end the war, and flush any hope for the two-state solution down the drain. For Palestinians, the election provides little hope either way.
احنا كفلسطينيين مش فارقة عنا لأن مش واحد بيعمل لصالحنا ولا واحد بيجي يعمل لصالحنا لا ترامب ولا اللي غيره ولا اللي حيجي بعده كله بدعم إسرائيل أول بأول وإحنا ولا واحد بدعمنا ولا واحد بيقف معنا.
For now, the Israel-Hamas war rages on, each day bringing more casualties.
While a ceasefire might have brought a temporary halt to the fighting in Lebanon, there's no such respite for Gaza. Here, the Israel Defense Forces and Hamas continue their brutal struggle in the ruins of Rafa, Khan Younis, and Jabalia. These clips, posted over the last month on social media by both sides, are hard to verify, but give a sense of the changing nature of the conflict on the ground. Despite months of occupation by the IDF, it's clear that few places in the Gaza Strip have truly been secured. Israeli soldiers must move quickly between buildings, occasionally using smoke screens, such as the risk of being targeted by militant snipers. Videos posted by Hamas glorify sharpshooters who lie in wait for Israeli patrols. Even Israeli soldiers inside armoured vehicles aren't safe. Hamas propaganda videos celebrate attacks on IDF tanks and bulldozers, often using rocket-propelled grenades at close range. Occasionally, militants even plant explosives on tanks by hand. The IDF, meanwhile, focus on identifying and eliminating targets from above. In this video, an IDF drone tracks Hamas operatives as they reveal the entrance to a tunnel. The IDF's priority continues to be the dismantling of the militant group's underground infrastructure, much of which still remains hidden. And operations in another theatre also appear to be ratcheting up in intensity. While nighttime raids against supposed terrorist hideouts are common in the West Bank, videos of much larger scale daytime operations have emerged in the past month. This one in Kabatia resulted in the deaths of 3 Hamas militants. Other groups, including Palestinian Islamic Jihad, are now also posting highly edited clips showing insurgents launching hit-and-run raids against Israeli troops. Overall, prospects for a de-escalation here seem remote in the near future. And it remains to be seen how an incoming US administration will impact the spiraling violence.
دولة قطر وجمهورية مصر العربية والولايات المتحدة الأمريكية الإعلان عن نجاح جهود الوساطة المشتركة بوصول طرفي النزاع في قطاع غزة إلى اتفاق بشأن تبادل الأسرى والرهائن والعودة إلى الهدوء المستدام وصولا لوقف دائم لإطلاق النار بين الجانبين.
نعمل هيك طيب وجه يبين هذا وجه القمر بحاول يصوره.
شعور لا يوصف، واحنا لحتى الان في حاله من الصدمه من الفرحه، ونتمنى الرحمه للشهداء والشفاء العاجل للجرحى.
Good afternoon. It's a very good afternoon. The plan says if negotiations take longer than 6 weeks, the ceasefire will continue as long as the negotiations continue. I've spoken to the Emir of Kuwait and the President of Egypt, and we have pledged to make sure the negotiations will keep moving forward for as long as it takes. And I'm deeply satisfied this day has finally come, for the sake of the people of Israel and the families waiting in agony, and for the sake of the innocent people in Gaza who suffered unimaginable devastation because of the war. The Palestinian people have gone through hell. Too many innocent people have died. Too many communities have been destroyed. In this deal, the people of Gaza can finally recover and rebuild.
Thank you very much. Instead of having to go back and do it again, the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site. Do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
يعني تصريحات دونالد ترامب يلي بحاول فيها ترهيب الشعب الفلسطيني، تهديد الشعب الفلسطيني، السحق والجحيم والتهجير. احنا كفلسطينيين لن نترك هذه الارض. ما لم ياخذوه من الحرب بالتاكيد لن ياخذوه بالسياسه. والتهجير على وين؟ والتهجير على وين؟ والتهجير على وين؟
Since a temporary ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas broke down in mid-March, intense fighting has resumed in the Gaza Strip. Both the IDF and the military wing of Hamas have posted a steady stream of videos showing their fighters in combat. While these clips are hard to independently verify, they do give us a unique perspective of the conflict on the ground. Here, we've gathered some of that combat footage from the past 2 months. More than 19 months after Israel launched its ground campaign in Gaza, there are parts of the Strip it hasn't brought under control. Fighting near the southern city of Rafa has been particularly fierce, with the Al-Qassam brigades, Hamas's military arm, launching a series of videos on what it calls the Gates of Hell operation. These highly edited clips show two separate ambushes on Israeli troops east of the city, which it claims killed and wounded several IDF soldiers.
بسم الله الله أكبر الله أكبر بسم الله الله أكبر بسم الله الله أكبر.
Despite Israel claiming to have almost broken the militant group's power, Hamas fighters are now experienced in urban warfare, using this ruined landscape to their advantage. These videos, recorded by Israeli soldiers, show fighting at incredibly close range inside buildings. And in April, Hamas posted this video of another ambitious ambush on an Israeli vehicle convoy. For the most part, however, the videos show smaller engagements involving a handful of combatants on each side. Individual militants using rocket-propelled grenades against Israeli armoured vehicles and bulldozers remains common. As do attacks by snipers targeting isolated patrols. While long-range rocket attacks into Israel have remained a feature since the start of the conflict. While they must remain on guard at all times, most IDF patrols do not encounter Hamas insurgents. But they do claim to still regularly find tunnels used by them. But it can be dangerous in a war zone even without the presence of the enemy. This video, purportedly filmed by an Israeli soldier, shows debris from a detonation almost taking them out. Meanwhile, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza deepens, with Israel blocking food and aid from entering the Strip. Estimates place the number of people killed since the start of the war between 50 and 60,000. Despite high-level peace talks continuing, any kind of ceasefire in the Gaza Strip looks further away than ever, with recent footage released by both the IDF and Hamas showing intense fighting continues. Though these clips published by both sides are hard to verify, they do give a unique insight into the combat experience on the ground. Let's take a look at some that have been posted in the last 3 months. Gauging the fighting strength of Hamas in the Strip is complex, with some experts claiming that the group's command and control structure has collapsed, and others suggesting that Hamas recruitment has largely replaced losses suffered since the start of the war. In either case, the videos posted by the militant group's armed wing, Al-Qassam Brigades, shows how it has successfully adapted to urban warfare. Ambushes on IDF armoured vehicles are a common theme of the video clips, with militants using RPGs, mortars, and small arms to attack from cover. They've also relied heavily on pre-planted explosives, luring Israeli troops into killing zones before remotely detonating them. The actions of the Ghoul sniper unit are regularly highlighted, preying on isolated groups of Israeli soldiers. And Hamas has even taken to posting videos of previous successful operations, including these clips that reportedly show operations during 2024. A renewed IDF offensive inside the Strip has seen far more soldiers involved in ground operations, and these videos supposedly show Israeli forces in action throughout the enclave. Out in the open, Israeli troops tend to stay close to armoured vehicles. But they must also risk engagement at close quarters when clearing houses. The IDF official accounts post videos of their soldiers in close combat far less frequently, but we know from earlier videos that firefights inside buildings occupied by Hamas militants can be brutal. Some of the more dramatic clips posted by the IDF show the detonation of tunnel networks supposedly used for Hamas operations. One theme to watch out for in the coming months is whether other armed groups will emerge to challenge for authority in Gaza, with several armed clans already vying with each other inside the lawless Strip. In the meantime, both Hamas and the IDF will continue to use these combat footage clips as a propaganda tool to present an image of total success on the battlefield.
The situation is worse than I've ever seen it before. And it's from two sides. One, the needs, the humanitarian needs have never been higher. But also our ability to respond and to assist have never been more constrained. Malnutrition is surging. You might have seen the numbers from UNICEF, 90,000 children now in urgent need of treatment for malnutrition. 1 in 3 people in Gaza go for days without eating.
I don't think there's a holdup. I think things are going along very well.